to have you with us. You're watching Mirror Now. I'm Avni Raja and this is Investor's Guide, a show where we help you and guide you on how you can make your money work for you, your savings and your investments. Let's in fact straight go across to Feroz Aziz, who's joining me today on the show. Feroz, thank you so much for joining us on Investor's Guide. We've spoken over the past few episodes a lot about the first steps towards financial planning, what is everything that is needed to begin the journey of financial planning. But today we're speaking about a very important topic, which is life insurance. And again, it forms one of the pillars of financial planning. You know, it's very important. So let's start with understanding what really is the importance of life insurance and how does it really help you in your journey to begin financial planning, Feroz?
Life insurance is nothing but a concept where if there's an eventuality, which is nothing but death of a person who's insured and the dependents get a lump sum corpus, is the concept of life insurance. Second part, Avni, how important is it? It is as important as it could get. Reasons for that is whenever a family member or an earning family member leaves this world, there's an emotional trauma on the family. There is also a potential financial trauma, which can be avoided using life insurance. So that both these adversities don't hit the dependents at the same given time. So it's very important to say the least. And secondly, it helps you make sure that whom you leave behind are not facing two adversities at the same time.
Yes, absolutely. At least one can sort of protect dependents on a financial level, if not anything else, and that is really the importance of life insurance. But Feroz, you know, one very common question that we keep getting about who requires life insurance in terms of the fact, suppose you don't have any dependents, you don't have children or parents who are dependent on you, you've just started your maybe in college or begun your first job. Is it then recommended to still opt for life insurance?
See, as life progresses, all of us will end up having dependents, or at least most of us will end up having dependents. So if let's assume somebody has just come into the workforce at the age of 25, 27, it is reasonably probable that that person is not married and does have children and a spouse to take care of. But if you bought yourself the life insurance at the age of 27, it will come at a very, very reasonable cost. If you lock in that cost, it will benefit you for long periods of time for the next 30, 40, 50 years. So point one, Avni, I think life insurance is a concept which is very important for anybody who is earning and might be able to spend on any dependent, be it a parent or spouse or a child or any other dependent for that matter. Point two, if you lock yourself in insurance cover at a younger age, then you relish the benefit of this prudence for long periods of time because the cost of insuring a life keeps going up year on year. So lock yourself at the age of 25. The insurance premium for the next 40 years is only possible if you are ahead of the curve than the rest of the universe.
Yes, absolutely. And that's really a very important point that you mentioned, Feroz, the fact that the earlier you buy it, the cheaper, the premium of that life insurance policy will be. But just taking that point forward, there are a lot of kinds of policies, life insurance policies that are available in the market. You have, everything from a regular term plan to a unit-linked plan, endowment, money back. And this often tends to confuse people, which one should one be opting for? What is your recommendation? How do you go about choosing a life insurance policy and what are the kind of policies that are there in the market?
You highlighted the right thing, Avni. I think decades of work has gone to make things complex for an insured person who wants to get insured or to invest. We in the world of finance have made it far more complex than it is needed to be. So there are 5 types of policies, namely term plan, whole life plan, endowment plan, money back plan, and a unit-linked insurance plan. These are the 5 different kinds of plans which are available for a person to choose from, and there will be hundreds of them in each of these categories. So to simplify life for yourself, as a person who wishes to get insured for his life, just focus on one of them, which is called the term plan. Term plan is the only product a person needs, in my opinion, and can ignore the rest of them. Because it is the most efficient way one can insure himself or herself, and for larger amounts at the most efficient cost. So ignoring the other 4 categories which I just mentioned for academic purposes, you can choose to not even remember them. Just the term plan can do the trick to solve this mystery for you.
Yes, absolutely. It's better to sort of keep insurance and investments separate, and that makes it much simpler to even, handle things and keep your finances in order. But Feroz, that comes to the next question here, is determining the amount of insurance cover that you require. Again, there are a lot of rules and a lot of thumb rules that people, talk about. But how does one determine this aspect?
The concept of insurance is based on the value of the life of the person whom we are speaking of insuring. That's called human life value. Just like a company has a value, a car has a value, a home has a value, any human who's earning on a monthly basis or doing a business because of his capabilities generating money on a monthly or a yearly basis has a value to his life. That's the concept of human life value, as the name suggests. So to give some rules of how do you compute it and not go into the second decimal computation of it, I'll give you age brackets and how much insurance should one get herself or himself. If you look at the age bracket of 18 to 35, which is the younger age bracket, anybody in that age bracket should get himself insured for 25 times his annual income. That's the first thumb rule. The second thumb rule corresponds to people who are in the age bracket of 35 to 45. You should get yourself an insurance cover to your life to the extent of 20 times of your life, of your annual income. And the third category, Avni, would be 45 or 46 to 50, the next 5 years, which is what I mean. The life cover should be 15 times. And the last category, which is 50 to 60, the life cover should be 10 times of their annual cost to company or annual income. These are thumb rules, and I think these are sufficient starting points for a person. And then as things progress, a person can calibrate and fine-tune these and bring them to precision. But I think these are good indicators of how to cover your life and to what extent.
All right, Feroz, and that of course is very important to keep in mind about determining the kind of life insurance cover that you need. So some very helpful tips there, but on that note, we're completely out of time on this episode. But on the next episode, we are going to talk about systematic investment plans, everything you need to know about SIPs and what are the benefits of investing in SIPs. All of that on the next episode. Thanks for watching.